Welcome back to another episode of Finance Fridays with Megan and Stacy.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. Before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe below. Click that button for any new alerts for our videos every Friday and to follow us on our Instagram channel. So today we wanted to talk to you about life insurance. The one thing that Stacy says that we're always guaranteed to have in life is what?
Death.
So like, I know it sounds kind of grim.
Very morbid.
You don't want to think about it, but this is the time now to set up not only yourself, but your kids, your family, and those that are going to be alive when you pass on for the future.
Yeah.
So Stacy, why would I need life insurance? Like, why is it important to have it?
Well, you want to have life insurance if your family depends on your income. Right? So if you get a paycheck every single week, every single month, every 2 weeks, and those paychecks pay the bills, when you die, your family's going to miss you, one, but they're also going to miss your income.
Yep.
So you want that life insurance to supplement the loss of income.
That's a great way
Right?
to explain it. That's a great way to explain
So
it.
that's exactly why you need life insurance.
So it's basically the purpose of it is a supplemental income when you have gone on and passed away.
Yep. So your family's not going to miss a beat, right? Like if your kids go to private school or if you guys take Disney World trips every year, if you guys take vacations every year, when mom or dad is no longer with us,
The quality of life is not
quality of
change,
life is not going to change.
at least dramatically at all at that point.
Financially, it's not going to change.
Makes sense. So we know that we need it, why it's important. So how do I go about like choosing a life insurance policy? Like what should people look for when it comes to that? Because that's a question. I know for me,
Yeah.
I have no idea where to start. Where do
So
I
there's
go?
this great debate, right? Like whole life or term life. And so whole life is exactly what it says, right? Like you're going to have it for your whole life. Generally, premiums are more expensive.
Okay.
And you get less coverage. So these are just fake numbers here, but let's say you pay, let's say $150 a month for a $100,000 policy. I think those might be semi-real numbers there. But versus, let's say, term, which you can get like $1 million policy and pay $150 for a quarter.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right? So, but then with term, it's just that. It's just for a term of your life. So you can get it for 15 years, 20 years, 25 years. I think 25 is the max.
So when they say 25, is it 25 from like the age that you are when you get it?
Yep.
Oh, so after that 25, you get the money? How does that
Nope.
work?
After the 25 years, that's it. So if you're still living 25 years later, it's just done. But here's the idea of it though, right? You're watching this video, you're obviously wanting to better your finances, figure out how to be financially stable. So in 25 years, the idea is that you'll be self-insured.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
You'll have no debt. You'll have investments with your 401k, your brokerage accounts. Maybe you'll have $1 million or $2 million net worth.
This is like an extra.
So now this would be extra,
That makes
right?
sense.
Or if you die like at your 26, your family has money already to set aside.
So how do you decide like the length of term? Do people just go for the longest of the 25
Yeah,
or just
sure.
when you decide to get it?
I mean, sure, you can get starting at that age, right? So if you're 25, you can get the 25-year policy and you'll be done at what, 50. Right? Or if you're 30, you can get the 25 and be done at 55. So, or if you think you're going to be financially stable and done and you'll have all this money from your job and investments, then you can do a 10-year. It's just all up to you.
So basically on your like individual like path and what you think is best for your family. Okay.
Yeah.
So speaking of family, should your kids have a life insurance policy? What are your thoughts on that?
So the experts say no, right? Unless your kid, let's say it's a child actor or a model or I don't know, some child project
And
that
you're
gets
depending
paid
on
money.
them.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're depending on their income to pay bills in your house or quality of life depends on your kid's income. Yes, then they need a life insurance policy.
Okay.
But just your regular newborn or 1-year-old or 5-year-old or just a regular kid, you just need a rider policy. And that's just enough, heaven forbid, if they die unexpectedly, that you have just enough to bury.
Now this is important. So what's the difference? So when you have a life insurance, do you have to write a will with it, or is that a separate will?
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
Yeah, wills and life insurance, 2 different things.
You see, y'all don't.
Yeah.
That's why I'm getting with the facts.
So you can definitely do a will to accompany that life insurance policy, but in order to get a policy, you don't have to have a will.
Okay, but on the policy, you have to put a beneficiary.
You should absolutely put a beneficiary, right?
And I watch all the crime shows, and that's why half of those murders happen, because people put those life insurance policies and then they get the 300,000, 400,000. So I know for a fact you can change and update that for any reason that you might have to.
Absolutely. And I think, like, if you're married, if you have your spouse on there but then want to change it, I want to say you have to have written permission from the spouse to have them taken off.
And that can get
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's just, I mean, it's good to know because people don't know those type of things. So when we do that short video, people ask all the time, like, should you have life insurance? Why do you need it? She got her answer here. Stacey recommends the term policy.
I think term. I mean, if you are doing your 401k and investing 20% of your income and you're doing really, really well, I mean, just do the term, right?
That makes sense to me.
And I mean, before I even started like studying this or doing research on this thing, I always thought whole life was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because then people would try to sell it to me in my 20s, like early 20s, like, oh, you can like take money from it. You can draw down or like invest.
Too.
And I'm like,
whenever something's like too complicated to understand, I'm like, okay, there's like a catch. Whenever there's just like too much going on, I'm like, it shouldn't be this difficult.
Yeah, it was just really weird to me, so I just never did it.
Yeah.
We actually didn't get our policies until I think right when we got married, because I was like, this is very morbid. Corey's gonna hate if he watches this. He's gonna hate that I'm gonna say this. But literally, once we got engaged, I was like, sit down.
Yeah.
We need life insurance. You ain't gonna leave me here with all these damn bills.
To pay off the debt. Like, we did so well to pay all this off.
No, this is before we still had all the student loans.
Oh, really?
We had 2 houses. I was like, I'll be damned if you go out and, God forbid, get hit by a car or wrapped around a telephone pole.
And you leave me with this mess.
And you leave me here not only to grieve, but be broke. We don't want those problems.
We don't.
And also, don't be small-minded. I did see somebody post on Instagram one day, like, oh, I'm not getting the life insurance because I don't want my family to get rich off of me. That's very small-minded, though. Very, very small-minded. No. Do not leave your family behind with nothing. They're already grieving.
Yep.
Now to figure out how are we going to pay the light?
House note.
How are we going to pay the house? How are we going to pay the car? How are we going to send the kids to school? Like, how are we going to do these things? Don't be selfish. Yeah. Do the right thing. Get the insurance policy. Make sure you and your spouse, or even like if you don't have a spouse, Megan, you need it.
Yeah, she's been trying to get me. Like I said, I'm like most people where it's like, oh, I have time. It's just me. Like if I pass, like it's
who's gonna be? You're gonna leave your parents to write the check.
It's gonna be okay. Well, that's what I wanted to bring up. Where it's like, how much should you have? Because I know with our jobs, we get about 20K. So I'm like, oh, that's enough to bury me. So that will be fine. Sure. But there are other things too. Like I have a house now, etc. Things to look at where it's, you don't want to burden your family with that. So I am thinking about y'all.
Yeah.
I'm one of y'all watching that. Don't have it yet. But I am working on that. That's why I want to do this video.
Yeah.
To talk
and you
about
should get, if you're getting life insurance, you should get it out independent of your job.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes, because job will only give you like basically a little bit. That's not going to cover much.
They're only going to give you a little bit. But also now, if you leave that job, that insurance policy doesn't carry with you. That all that money you paid into it, it's done. Mm-hmm. It's gone. So you want to. That's why you want to get policy independent from your job, and do 10 to 12 times your income.
So if you make 100,000, about $1 million to 1.2 million.
Exactly.
In your life insurance policy.
And it sounds like a lot, but if you die tragically at 25 years old and you've got some kids, and they're only 5, they've got a long time. You've got college to pay for, cars.
Bills.
Yeah.
So it adds up. And like I said, everything with finance is about the future. So always looking at now, you're like, oh, well, I'll get to it. But everything with money is about thinking of your future self. 10, 20, 30 years from now. Those are the people that are going to win when it comes to wealth, are the ones that are looking at the future and not focusing on where they are today.
Absolutely.
So until next time, if you have any advice, suggestions, what type of life insurance do you guys have? Do you have whole life? If you do, let us know. Like, if you have a good experience with it.
We might get a lot of traffic under this one.
We might get some traffic. Let us know. Give us your suggestions on what type of plan you have and which you recommend. And until next time, have a wonderful and happy day.